Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay! That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tataris Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, I want to write my...
Yes, you came...
Did one of them just mention Tataris Suna? Is it just Paimon or is it kinda great? Let's go find out what...
All right, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're...
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard... This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit...
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so... Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal.
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Ina's...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the...
hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time...
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand. It just so happened. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Ina's...
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot...
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ish...
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this Niwa was a distant... Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of...
The Kaidahara clan.
Sawada, you left out the biggest
Oh, yes, of course! How...
Get to the point.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your face...
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you just...
I agree. It does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well. Sawada was... Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
Some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it? Okay, then, even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
The wind rises.
Traveler, Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you...
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's...
Ah, So if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start.
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between...
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I, for one, have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with...
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to...
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean...
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also between... So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be
Yeah, obviously!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before,
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twins' details in the Descender. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since he was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it, so I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon did...
I understand. But sometimes, how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, it's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a... In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he... Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Prepare yourselves.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Ermin's soul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards, but right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences, and I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own...
Fine. Let's call it truce. But
let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep...
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventure.
If there are no further objections, I suggest... Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh, Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to be...
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so... Say we...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got... Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge...
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it.
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive current.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all,
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus,
Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's a...
as I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as dates, and perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answer. Well done. Smart in a tip. So, you made contact with that part of his mind.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out...
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a pup.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out...
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people...
Oh? How interesting. Those...
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing to...
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And huh?
This light. It looks similar to...
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma.
So you say, Escher. But
my good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an... And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with... But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure...
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he...
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little over—
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly—
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like you're playing— I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek into—
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the—
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but—
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger.
The Fatui?
Just to create a minor—
That's it. That's why you gave us your cursed—
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone—
If you give him my heart, he has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants—
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy— I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Already. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner— I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest cop.
Hey, are...
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit—
Maybe so. But it means—
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to— You know very well what that means. Even—
give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So,
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, it was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just a plan of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, the load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion. The mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that the mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow,
holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, aren't you investigating the stuff?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end...
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first... Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but...
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, so tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? done.
Huh? What the? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for... So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabuki, those who died in Tatarasuna because of me, deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily...
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we... Oh, no.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just...
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that, but did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? It's...
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and...
We're out! And we're at... an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will... I'm sorry, but this isn't...
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right! You can't just rewrite history. Oh, it's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would... So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Oh, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to... Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but... There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise... There's nothing we can do do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what... Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, so, how about, we list all our favorite foods? Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Andrean chili chicken. Also, Adeptus Temptation golden... What do we... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was... Is that a food, too? Huh. Weird name. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something... So, the balladeer. Is that... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but... Is everything okay?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, most of the great swordsmith clans of old. But fortunately, if my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin.
Oh, yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It's...
That, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, he told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, there is no harm in telling you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murder.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphans, in his heart, The whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his... Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, in his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop! Lead the way, traveler! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid you're...
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's plate.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But...
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is that... Of course, traveler. Yes, what would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending. As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever.
So pretty much business is...
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very... Miss Kami, I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the... I mean, whenever the commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef. They get to talking about you sometimes, too. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family... It's been many years now since the late... As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son... So, in the future, if you have wonderful...
Paimon's itching to try it. We may...
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're... Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves...
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken...
Very well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or...
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this...
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. Oh, well, I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, they say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on!
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for his story? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do... Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. More farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, come on, you gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab... All right, let's head up.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love...
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh!
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this?
What did you find out?
It's a long story.
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my—
And they're back at it. These guys...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects.
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
The sky will reveal everything to us. The sky will reveal everything to us. The sky will reveal everything to us.
Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever.
The sky will reveal everything to us. The sky will reveal everything.
If we've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story?
The sky will reveal everything to us.
Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided...
The balladeer? You look troubled. It... Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so...
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself.
But how is he...
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase them...
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... Well, because he literally changed...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible the Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Ermin. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's mode.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that, and if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, the story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but that power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase...
Yeah, it does make sense, but it just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like...
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record survived from the...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. Changing the information in but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the...
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew this story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but it... Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as a gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox... The monster gave the heart of water to the... The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left... The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single... How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his very own to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of... Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished, like...
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first... We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around, but still...
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then when you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us to... And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for...
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up. What should we eat first? about. What is it? Have you figured it? Why'd you jump up all of it?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grab. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring.
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias, and I promise
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my... You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those...
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't... Up and away.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his son? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash... Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with... Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart.
That's oddly...
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to this...
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really...
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the... But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he... But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of
Thank you. All right, done. Thank...
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, but these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even...
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case...
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So...
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like? Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence, and if it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to... but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non, you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet,
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but... yeah, we weren't your...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for,
Lesser Lord Kusanali. As the god of wisdom.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves.
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self great...
I'm just a puppet. With no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to...
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of a...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your,
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. Hmm? There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second-in-command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new join us.
Time to act. Rain outlines your fate.
he doing back here?
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you.
Okay, I heard my mom and dad. He kept coughing all the time, just like me.
But you can't. You promised.
Yup, we're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from... The voices have gone. It looks like the memory...
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power.
Squall and fury.
I see through you. Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun.
Know your place.
You can't run. Well, isn't time.
Stabilize.
Be a killjoy. We've only just begun.
Fuse is lit.
That's all you got. You can't run.
This is order. Solidify.
The wind rises.
Huh? No, my sword.
Fire hazard.
My duty.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this.
In the original version of events, the Traveler went...
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this...
What a sharp tongue. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to your...
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, Being tossed out like trash must make you Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Order guide you. Solidify.
Behold. Bow your head.
No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate.
No escape.
The fuse is lit!
Can't run from death.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a...
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming...
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible, in the event that a successful connection is established.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a... Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiment?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes? Are there any differences between humans?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that, no matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each person as a puppet living in a human world, my life is
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, so I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a...
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is... my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
You got any more stupid questions? Insignificant past! That's far enough! Squall and Fury! At my command, you shall fall! How amusing. Behold! Churn! Cry louder! My endless cycle begins! Feeble human! Insignificant pest! Upon the gate. Perish! Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too! What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably... After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they...
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to... What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world... Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doc.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again... Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated...
I'm glad you're able to think of it. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what... including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the...
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not... To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway...
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but... The most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname!
Why?
Because... Paimon still doesn't like you that...
Then I hope we don't see much of each...
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for a...
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name...
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh,
now you have it.
What about a nickname? Are you done?
Still.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, even though the events have been erased from the world, they still
I see.
Huh? But if...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have... What's that look for? Don't make that face. That day will come. Alright. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fit. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice.
I've got it! I can end my novel with...
You mean because everyone else...
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued. Then, one night, as all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire. Life is a...
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else... When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground, whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result... History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere? Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be...